God has never failed to do what he said he was going to do. And it's most of the Christians now, and most people that believe anything about heaven and anything about God, they believe that eventually God is going to do it. God is going to come and fix it. God is going to come and save us. God is going to come and heal us and all these things. And it's like, no, don't you understand? He's already done it. He's not, he's a good father. He's a father who loves us. And when you love somebody, you never withhold what they need if it's in your power to give it to them.
Mhm.
Now, if it's not in your power, if you got two parents and they've got a little boy or a little girl that's immensely sick, they'll do anything to save or deliver their child from the sickness.
Mhm.
But if they, but just think about this: would these parents, if they had the means and the ability to heal their child from whatever is wrong with them, and they said, "Okay, we're going to heal you, but only after you've done the right things, then we'll heal you."
Mhm.
Is that love?
Right. No way.
Is that love? I
No.
mean, does love say, well, I have the means and the ability to save you and deliver you right now, but I'm not. I go ahead and suffer for a while. Is that what love does?
Right.
I can tell you, parents, they want their child healed now, and they'll do anything, including giving their lives for their child to be healed.
Mhm.
And God's not that way? You mean God created better parents than he is? Because he
Mhm.
creates humans that will give their life for their children. But God, no, 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 no. I gave my son for you on the cross. That's all I'm going to do.
Mhm.
Well, really? So God has the power and the ability to heal me right now, but he's going to wait until the right time, or he's going to wait till he comes back again. Because you see, the first time that Jesus came, he didn't finish the job. He didn't what the Jews thought he was going to do. God didn't do it. Jesus couldn't finish it.
Right.
So Jesus has got to come back a second time because the first time didn't work.
Right.
Okay. And that's what we're dealing with. We've got a God who has the ability. He can do anything he wants, but he doesn't really want to heal me right now. But he will, and after I die, then he'll heal me. And
Mhm.
I just, oh, Lee, I just, I don't think you could repeat this to anybody.
you you absolutely can. You absolutely can. N- You know what I thought of, because you brought up the guy with the on the street corner, the
Yeah,
schizophrenic PTSD survivor, veteran, or any number of, drug addict, whatever, alcoholic, ends up begging for change or whatever. I remember you telling me 6 or 8 years ago, the difference between us and them is that they know they're hearing voices.
I did say that, didn't I?
You did. And it was such a profound, they're easy to spot. They're the nuts on the corner that something's wrong. And we're not. We're the normal, sane ones. And they're not in a war where somebody's shooting at them and they think they are, and they're just out of their head because of that. And there's and people don't realize that they're doing and living and feeling and believing the exact same way. They're not
Yes.
different than that guy. They're not living on the street, they're living in a house, and they're not asking somebody for money to get food. They're working at a job where somebody gives them money to give them food, but they're not
They had different input.
just different
They,
input. Yeah. And theirs is, golly, it's almost tragic that the PTSD or delusions that most of us live with are so much more subtle.
yeah.
Theirs are wildly obvious.
Yeah.
They're talking to themselves and jumping at they they think there's something there that nobody else can see, and we go, oh my goodness, that poor guy thinks there's something there that nobody else can see that's going to get him. I'm so glad that I don't have that, except for I think when I go to work I'm going to get fired because my boss hates me and my friends don't really like me even though they say they do. But that poor guy's delusional. I'm seeing it clear. My friends really don't like me, and my boss really doesn't like me, and people really do hate me, and they're the worst anyway. So I don't care because they're who I think they are, and I see that very clearly and plainly. I see everything very
Yeah.
clearly and plainly and obviously and truthfully. But that poor guy on the corner, he doesn't. He's seeing crazy stuff. I'm seeing normal stuff, and it's
Yeah.
almost worse in a way
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
so subtle and nobody puts us in institutions for it. But man, we're all doing it. We're all seeing it, just
Wow.
like that guy.
Yep. Spot on, man.
Yeah, well, that
And
was
I
you.
just, I'm all the things that I talk about. I know the same for you. All the things that I talk about that I see, um, I need those things. Everything that I talk about, I need to know more than anybody else, including you, as far as I'm concerned. I'm the one that needs this stuff.
Oh,
I love talking about it and sharing it with people.
yeah,
The fact that you and I years ago got to sit down and start talking about these things. You thought it was great. You loved it. Well,
yeah,
I did too. There
yeah,
was a chance for me to talk about these things that are so important to me to someone who actually was interested.
yeah.
Now, you were interested for a different reason than I was, in a sense. I
Sure.
mean, I had never met anybody who God had said, everything you believe is wrong. I mean, to me, that was off the charts.
Yeah,
But whatever God said to you, it created in you a hunger
yeah,
that there's something more, and I don't know what it is. But if you've gotten me to the point where I now accept that everything I believe is wrong, then you've got to be the one to get me to start hearing what's going to replace everything, because now I'm empty. I'm a vessel and I'm empty, and I don't know what to do.
yeah,
You know, I mean, I kind of went through the same thing, but for me, it was that the day came when I said, God didn't tell me, and yet it was Him doing it in me.
yeah.
I said to myself, everything I believe is wrong.
Mm,
Everything I believe is screwed up.
mm,
I have no idea what the truth is.
mm.
But and same result for me. I started exploring these things, but it was scary for me. So
Yeah.
these things we're talking about now, this was scary for me back then, because I
Mm,
had never heard anybody talk about some of these things,
yeah.
and some of the things that I know we're going to talk about eventually, uh, that they're so much beyond what you and I are discussing right now.
Yeah.
But you have to build a foundation. I had to build a foundation, and piece
Yeah.
by piece by piece by piece by piece, I was learning these things, and
It
they
is.
begin to multiply.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle. I mean, and it's so funny. I think you're right. The foundation, and that's, yeah, I won't argue with that. I think also it's like a puzzle because we already have all the pieces, and we just got,
Everybody does.
yeah, we got, everybody does, and we just got
Everybody knows this stuff. They just don't know what they know.
right, and we've got to rearrange those pieces a little bit,
Yeah. Yep.
and then stuff just starts falling into place with it too. So it could be you start at the end and work your way backwards, or you start at the beginning and work your way forwards, or you start in the middle and you work your way out both ways, or whatever. But but excuse me,
Yeah.
it yeah, that's how that's God is, he's such a good dad. It's like we've said, like I have, I've got 3 kids, and my wife has 4 kids, and not a two are alike. and they all need different stuff at different times. And if you're hard on this one, then they shut down. And if you're hard on this one, then it brings them up and they, oh, they rise to the occasion or whatever. And God is that dad that can spot every single one of us and how we learn and what we're like, because he made us and knows us. And so he's got the perfect idea about how to get us to where we can go. And oof, it's hard sometimes too, though. He's not bad at it, but it's just like one of my boys, I said, don't touch that stove, it's hot. And he was like,
Mhm.
gotcha. I don't want to get burned. And then another one, don't touch that stove, it's hot. And he went right up to it. Oh, yeah? Psst, oh, found out the hard way. But I was telling them both the same stuff because I loved them both and wanted them both to do be safe, but they were different. And God knows that about us, and He's got different ways. So yeah, some of us start in the middle, some of us start at the over on this side and on that side, and but He's calling us all to the wholeness. So He'll get us there. He'll keep walking us.
Something I think about a lot is Christ in us,
Mm,
Christ inside us.
hmm
The verse in Colossians is that Christ is our life.
hmm
And I realize that Jesus is the head and he is living his life inside each one of us.
hmm
We don't have our own individual lives.
Yeah.
We have a life that is Christ's life. But the thing is, this came out of my mouth one day. I was sitting at breakfast with one of my sons and his friends, and I said that God is living His life in each one of us, unique to each one of us. So when God lives His life inside me as me, it's different than Him living His life inside Lee as Lee. And that's different than him living his life in your boys as them.
hmm
But we're in union with him, we're one. And um, the idea that God himself is united with me, we're one, but he is living, that finger is different from this finger and is different from this finger. That to me is so exciting that God just wants to teach me to be who I am. And he knows how to be who I am better than I do,
hmm
since he and I are one and he made me. I was born out of him. And I get so excited about where where does this go? What does this look like?
Yeah.
We're just started.
Yes.
Like I said, I'm 2 years old,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can talk, but I'm sure God listens to me sometimes and laughs
Right.
because I'm trying so hard to say something and I can't say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I've had happen in this conversation with you just now. There's two or three times in the middle of the conversation I was trying to say something and I couldn't say it. I
Mhm.
didn't know. I didn't use the right words. I couldn't think of the right words,
Mhm.
and I just God just chuckles
Yeah.
because he knows he's going to teach me. And the way I'm going to learn is by listening,
Yeah.
by obeying,
Yeah.
because that's how you and I became who we are,
Mhm.
by what we heard and heard and heard and saw and saw and saw and thought and thought and thought, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
And here we are today. Well, that's because God made us to work that way. And so I want to, I've listened to enough garbage in my 70 plus years.
Mhm.
I want to now just hear God. I
Yeah.
want to think about what God says.
Mm.
I want to obey Him.
Mhm.
And as I continue to do that, my life just keeps changing right in front of my eyes. I mean, I see the change, I feel the change, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I've got. I mean, but I'm only 2 years old, 3 years old. That's the way I laugh about it.
Yeah.
I'm a kid. I
Yeah.
mean, in the New Testament, it talks a lot about little children,
Mm.
infants. Um, God doesn't look at any of us as teenagers.
Mm,
We are all babies. We are
mhm,
infants. We are maybe a little more than infants. That's how much we. I mean, think about how much a 2-year-old knows compared to what they're going to know when they're 70. I
mhm.
mean, it's a volume, and it's all going to be in this mind.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm just 2 or 3 years old, and I'm going to live indefinitely.
Mhm,
And how much can I learn between now and then? And how much different am I going to look and act and think way, way, way down the road when I've learned everything that God wants me to know?
mm,
Because I believe He wants me to know everything He knows.
mm,
I really do. I believe God wants me to know everything He knows and be able to do everything He can do.
mhm. Just like a good dad.
Yep.
You want your kids to know, or a good mom.
That's
Here's
yes.
how we cook and clean and fix things and spend our money and everything. Love each other and face challenges and everything. And you want them to have all the best tools of everything all the time.
We've we have to learn who we are and learn who God is and learn all the things He wants to teach us, because I believe that there's something that is so wonderful after this first phase or first stage of life
Oh,
in God's reign.
yeah,
And honestly, I can't imagine. I mean, I do have some imaginations of what it is,
yeah,
but that's forever.
yeah.